Hi everyone, I'm Theresa V, and this is the place to be if you're a sensitive or an empath who wants to feel more alive and live more on purpose. Each month, I check in with the beloved archangels to see what advice they have for us as we navigate the energies of the earth at this time. This month, seeing as how the energy of the holiday season is upon us, the angels are speaking with us about surrender and letting go. One of the first things the angels brought to my attention is the difficulty that humans have with the word surrender. There's so much meaning, hidden or subconscious, that we bring to the word surrender. Our angels are showing us that surrender is what we do when we are really out of options. We have tried everything else and nothing is working the way we want it to. That is when we let go. It doesn't necessarily have to be equated with weakness or with not knowing what to do next. We are very often brought to our knees before we let go and let the angels take something from us. And this comes from our indoctrination early in life, whether through religion or spirituality or even military. We have learned that surrender is equated somehow with weakness. And our spirituality these days is more about us becoming empowered from within with the help of our guidance, with the help of the divine. So when we are asked to surrender, it seems like the opposite of what we're building. We're building self-empowerment, and surrender is that weakness, that inability to create the change that we want in our life. And the angels want us to throw that out the window. They want us to understand that if the word surrender doesn't work for you, release it. You don't have to use it. But they invite us to let go. We go through so many experiences where we are holding on so tightly, we're white knuckling it. Even as spiritual people, we know that our angels are there. We know that everything always works out for the best. We know that divine timing is the key to how things flow in our lives. But at the same time, there's a part of us that thinks that we know better. There's a part of us that thinks that if I let go of this situation, I may lose this person, or I may not get this new job, or I may not build the business of my dreams, or be able to help people heal, or whatever our story is. We are so attached to a certain outcome that we are hesitant to hand it over. And our angels show us repeatedly that holding on to it creates limitation. We may think that we know best, that we understand all there is, that we're in communion with the divine when we do that, and we're telling the divine, this is what I want, when is it coming to me? But we're so attached to the how. So if we want the most beautiful relationship with a partner who sees us, who can hold us, who is truly present with us every step of the way, and we're holding on to this relationship, trying to force it into that box of what we do want, the universe can't necessarily deliver, because maybe this is not the vehicle for that. Maybe this relationship is not the answer to the question that you're putting out. So holding on to it is keeping you on the hamster wheel, is keeping you in a holding pattern. The healthy thing to do in terms of our spirituality is to keep working, to keep doing our work, to keep showing up, to try all of the things to create what we want in this situation. And if and when we have tried everything, if and when we have looked at it from all of the angles and we're still not getting there, the angels encourage us, let it go. Let it go. Give it over to us. Give it to the divine. If you're more comfortable handing it to the divine, do that. Give it over. Stop trying to force solutions. We get wrapped up in the how. We want this end, and we are so caught up in the how it needs to get to that end that we can't let the magic that happens when we put out our desire and our angels want to deliver what it is that we need physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to create that outcome in our lives. They want to deliver it. They're standing right next to us holding it. But if we don't let go of what we're holding on to, we can't open our arms and accept it. And we don't have to wait to the point where we've tried everything and exhausted ourselves. We can give it over a lot quicker, but very often we like to know that we've done everything we can in a situation before we let go and hand it over. So it's up to you when you want to let it go, but our angels are always there to take it from us, to hold it for us. And when we do that, we receive the inspiration. We receive a roadmap with the steps to take. We just start to know. When we're so involved in holding on to things, we lose that perspective. We can't receive the messages because we're so contracted, because we need this to be so. You may have noticed the lighting situation in here today. We're having a pretty strong storm. And the angels were saying this morning, when we are hesitant, when we are reluctant to let go and to hand things over, it's like trying to stop the rain. When it rains, we have choices. We can go out and dance in the rain. We can stay in the house. We can go do other things with an umbrella. We can choose to take the car instead of walk. We have choices that we can make within the circumstances of the rain. The one thing we know we can't do is stop the rain. The rain is happening and we make the choices within that. It's the same when we have bigger situations in our lives. We have choices to make within that. So maybe a family member is really sick and there are choices to be made about the care and what to do and how to progress. We can't stop the family member from being sick. And so many light workers, so many sensitives and empaths who have healing ability, we have this innate healing ability. We get on the hamster wheel of resisting our family member's sickness. We start to push back on that energy. But it's like the rain. It's there. It's happening. If we are called to work as an agent of healing within that, we will receive the guidance to do so. But so many of us attach from our third chakra, attach from our personality, attach from our ego, and try to push the sickness the other way because we have all these healing tools to use. But maybe that's not what our family member's soul needs to go through. They need to go through their own process for their soul's evolution. So if we are to be instruments of healing in their situation, we will be called to give them some sort of treatment. We can always pray for people, no matter what. We can always say prayers. That's a way that we can always work with the energy. But being attached to the outcome is not part of that. So what we need to do in that situation is there's decisions to be made that are actions. We are taking an action. We're getting them the tests they need. We're getting their care in order. We're making them soup or whatever it is that would help them to feel better because we're involved in that way. But we can do that from our guidance, from what we feel that we're being called to do, instead of being mentally and third chakra wise attached to what the outcome is. So when we can surrender, when we can say, okay, this is the situation. I'm in the rain. What are my choices here? And I may make a soup and I may put all this love and attention and intention into the soup and they may make a choice not to eat it. But that's not my concern. My concern is just that this is what I was called to do. I followed my guidance because we work so hard to follow our own inner guidance as opposed to being swayed by all of the things outside of us. When we hear things like, not my will, but thy will be done, that sometimes can bring us into a place of disempowerment. Like, I'm taking my will and I'm surrendering it, right? That surrender, that you decide. It feels contrary to what we're learning to be, what we're learning to do, how we're learning to show up as a self-empowered being. What we need to realize is when we're looking at not my will, but thy will be done, we're not only speaking to the divine, we're not only speaking to that big divine being that we are all a part of, we're also speaking to the part of us, our higher self, that knows better, that knows everything, that knows all, that is the piece of the divine that is housed within us. So we're bypassing who we are in this incarnation. We're bypassing our mind, we're bypassing our desires, and we're moving right to the higher self. We're moving right to the divine and saying, not my will, but thy will be done. That part of us that knows better. Universe knows what our soul is here to do and knows what experiences would be exactly right for our soul's growth. When we can give things over to our angels, to the divine, to our higher selves, when we can let go, it brings a tremendous sense of freedom. We're trying to control outcomes all the time. And when we fully give it over, it creates a lightness. It creates this release of tension. So we can then pull back all of that energy that we were wasting trying to force, trying to control outcomes. And we can use it to follow the inspiration we're being given. We can reconnect with our creativity, and it automatically puts us more on our life's purpose path so that we are then able to show up rather than wasting our energy or constantly going in circles. We have no idea what we're ready for. The angels always tell us, you have no idea what we are holding for you. It's better than you can ever imagine. And so when we do let go, when we do surrender, the angels can then deliver all of the things that match our heart's desires, that match the things that we are too afraid to even say that we want to experience in this lifetime. They can bring those to us. The constriction of holding on is freed up, and now the flow can start again. There are a couple of things that really help with this, some very specific tools that the angels want to share with you. One is the concept of this or something better. When we are working in manifestation, we know the end result. We're looking at the end result. We're letting go of how it's going to happen. And then we say, this or something better. And then we open that door for what is beyond the limitation of our expectation, of our experience, of our vision. We move past all of that and open to all of the goodness of the universe. We open to all the potentials that are out there, and we open ourselves to be able to receive what is best for us. Another tool is a God box or an angel box, whichever way you want to look at this. So I have my angel box. You get a special box, you can make one, you can spend some time crafting it or creating it. This is especially good for children, especially children who are sensitive or who are anxious. We're going to put everything that we are concerned about, everything that we're worried about, everything that we're ready to let go of, and hand over to the angels, hand over to God, the divine. Let it go. So we write it on a piece of paper, or we draw a picture, or whatever it is, and we put it in the box, and we close the box. And that box stays closed. Once we give it over, we can't take it back. It's been let go of, it's been surrendered. And then we just leave it. You can leave it on your altar in a special place in your home where you see it every day and you remember to pray for all of the intentions that it be resolved in the best way possible. This or something better, right? Maybe every 6 months or maybe once a year, you go back inside this box and you look at what was in there, and you'll be amazed at what you put in there that you forgot was even an issue. You might not even know what that paper meant. And so the things that have been resolved, you can take them out of the box and you can have a burning ceremony, or you can plant them into the earth and let go of them fully and completely. They're gone from your experience. It's over. And the things that haven't been resolved yet, if there are any, leave them in. And you can just keep adding to this box every day, every minute, every hour. If that sick family member, if it comes back into your mind and you find yourself wanting to control that, maybe you put another piece of paper with their name on it into the box, and maybe you put control, fear of the outcome into the box. When we are reluctant to let go and to surrender, it's our fear that's getting in the way. And when we remember that there's only two true emotions, two true realities, there's the reality that's created from love, and there's the reality that's created from fear. Every action we take, every decision we make takes us closer to love or fear. And if you are here, you are definitely one of the people that wants to live going towards love. So just take notice. There's no judgment. There's no expectation. Just take notice. Am I getting closer to love or getting closer to fear right now? And what can I do to change that outcome if I am not happy with it? This is one of the tools that you can use to change that outcome. In short, our angels really want us to let go, to let them handle things for us, to give over anything that's too big for us to carry so that we can feel more freedom. We can also hand it over directly to the divine if that feels more comfortable to us. And the divine will do exactly what is best for all involved and then send the proper angels to work within the circumstance. That feels really complete from our angels for this month. If you feel that you could use more assistance, staying centered and grounded, living more on purpose, and feeling the freedom of letting go, please consider joining the membership. You can find more information through the link in the description of this video or in the comments beneath it. In the membership, you'll receive healing energy transmissions every single day of the month. You'll be immersed in a beautiful community of people who are striving to live successfully and happily on this planet as empaths and to live their purpose just like you. As always, I'm so grateful that you're here, listening to the words that the angels share with us and sharing these videos with those who you believe could also use these messages. Please leave us a comment and let us know what resonated for you in this video. I look so forward to supporting you as you move forward on your journey and being part of your growth and evolution in this lifetime. So much love to you. Bye, everybody.